All right, guys, today we're going to review this website. It's called Undebt.it. As you can see, it's a debt website, but it's a pretty cool website because it's a debt eradication or debt reduction or elimination tool. Some people call it debt avalanche. I know Dave Ramsey called it the debt snowball. And so we're just going to dive into this site and see what it's all about. I think it's pretty neat, but I'll let you guys be the judge. So as you can see, it says it is the number one debt snowball calculator, and it helps you pretty much get your debt lined up. It gives you a perspective of your debt that some people may not have looked at, because what it basically does is it breaks down all all the debt that you have, the payments, and then it looks at how long it's going to take you to pay that debt if all you're doing is paying the minimum amounts, right? And obviously, just for some social proof, it says they have 33,000, over 33,000 active users, 231,000, almost 200, 213, almost 214,000 debts eliminated, and over $2.2 billion of debt being paid down. So this is a pretty robust tool, and it's a pretty legit site. And surprisingly, it doesn't get as much airtime as some other tools, and maybe they need a little bit of help with their marketing. And so right here it shows you some of the screenshots of what it looks like inside. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and fill out some accounts. So let's say your first debt is a Citibank credit card, and your current balance, we'll put it at 1,500. Minimum payment on that, let's say it's $50, right? Your interest rate, we'll put it at 18%. Okay, and then it's real simple to use it. You go ahead and add another account. So let's say on top of Citibank, you have a Macy's credit card, right? And that has a balance of 500. Minimum payment on that, let's say we'll put it at 25, and interest on that, they tend to be pretty high. So all right, so let me go ahead and I'll add up to about 5 accounts, and then we'll come back, and then I'll come back online and show you all what that looks like. All right, so I've gone ahead and filled in some fictitious accounts, added a car loan, just a regular loan, a student loan, and a home mortgage on that. And tried to be as realistic as possible as far as what the payments may be, and that kind of stuff. And so basically, once you fill in all this information and you hit the go button, it'll go ahead and it'll calculate what your payments would be. So let me see, I missed something. Required information missing or invalid. So let me scroll down here and see what it is that needs to be fixed. The minimum payment on your account is greater than your total budget. Okay. You need to change your budget to be at least. So, okay, we need to make sure that my budget, total debt payoff budget. All right. So the budget needs to be at least 17.25. Let's say you have an extra $25 a month to pay, right? So we'll say you have 17.50 that you can pay on your debt. So what does that do for us when we run it? We'll see what kind of numbers the software will spit out. Okay, so if your debts are 17.25 and you can pay 17.50. Basically, what it does this is a simple debt amortization. And what a debt amortization is, it shows you if you're making minimum payments, and then it starts adding that extra payments to. If you look right here, I said that the method that I wanted to use was to go with the lowest balance first, right? Okay, so the lowest balance was the Macy's account. And if we come up here, the Macy's account, we owe 500, right? The minimum payment is 25, but because we said up here we owe 17.25 a month, but we can pay 17.50. What the software will do is it'll come here and it'll say, okay, I'm going to take the lowest debt and I'm going to throw that extra $25 onto it, right? And so if you calculate this, it'll pay off the smallest debt first, right? And what it should do is then it should start applying that debt payment once it's paid off to the next one. So a really good example of that is right here. If we look at the Citibank, we've been paying the minimum payment to Citibank all along right here. Okay. When we get to this point, we've paid off the Macy's and we've paid off the loan, right? And so what happens now is what you were paying to Macy's and what you were paying to the loan, which was 50 and 100, right, is now added. So we're adding 150 to the 50 that you were paying to Citibank. Okay. And what that does is now you're paying Citibank $200, right? You have not increased anything about what you were paying. You're still paying the same amount. All right. And so what that does is, if we come up here, it'll show us further down, actually down here. So it's showing you, it's stepping down and showing you how long it's going to take you to pay all of these. And I'm assuming the mortgage is going to be the one that's going to take the longest for us to pay, right? So here's the summary of what that looks like, guys. Paying only the minimum amount due, you're going to pay a total principal and interest of $160,000, right? Your total interest payment is going to be $27,854, and years until you're debt free is exactly 120 months, and it gives you the date. So if you did nothing but do minimum payments, right, this is how long it's going to take you. But because we're paying an extra $25, look what happens. The total principal and interest that you paid is now 156,000. So that extra $25 a month has saved you almost $4,000 of interest, right? On the principal payments, and it's saved you. Yeah, it's about the same. It saved you almost 4,000. So the difference between the 27.85 and the 23, about $4,000. Okay, but look at how much time it saved you. You go from 120 months, which is 10 years, to 88 months, which is 7.3 years. So in essence, extra $25 and using a debt payment strategy has effectively saved you almost 3 years of paying on this debt. Right? That's pretty neat. And it comes further down and it breaks down how long it'll take you to pay it if you're paying using this payment method. So let's come up here and let's say we go with instead of using the lowest balance first, let's say we do highest interest rate first, right? And let's see what that does for us. See if that makes a big difference. So we're gonna, instead of paying instead of going with the lowest balance, we switch it up and say, okay, I'm going to do the highest interest first. So what does that do? So you notice a difference right here. The second thing you're paying is the Citibank, and then you move on to the loan, right? And let's see, when we come down to the breakdown, now you've saved $5,000 in principal and interest, and it's knocked you down an extra month. Yeah, instead of 88 months, it's 87. So the time frame hasn't changed that much, but what has changed is how much interest you're saving, because you go from saving about 20, from paying a total of about 24 to about 22, 23, right? And so this is a pretty neat tool. It gives you different scenarios. If you're serious about paying off your debt, and you want to look at different options, so you could go with the highest monthly interest paid. You can go with the highest monthly payment first. So let's say you were really serious about your debt. So instead of paying 1750, let's say you say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pay an extra 100, right? So the debt payment was 1725. So you say, I'm gonna go and make an extra payment of $100 every month. So let's see what that looks like when we plug that in into the calculator. All right. So an extra $100 payment. We'll go with the same highest interest first, and come down here and see what that does. Okay, so that knocks your interest down about another $1,000, which is not bad. From the initial 27,000, you're down to 21,000. So you're looking at about $6,000 saved in interest. But look at the time. The years until you are debt free, you've gone down to 6.9 years, 83 months. I mean, you have just freed up all this time. You've killed all this debt, and you have freed up all this, not only this time, but you've also freed up all this money that you can now use to do other things. If you need to invest it, if you want to buy something for yourself, if you want to save it for children's college, whatever the case may be. you know I give this website Undebt.it a 5-star rating, and I'll go ahead and link to it in the description, because this is a pretty cool tool. So I thank you guys for watching it. I know this video was a little bit long, but I hope that the information that I've given you here is this is life-changing information as far as I'm concerned. Most people don't ever look at their debt and look at their situation in this manner. But if you just do this, then I guarantee you are going to be in a much better situation than you were before. All right. Once again, thank you for watching the video. Good luck and God bless.